What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Biomed. I want to show you guys how to tighten up the linear motion on a Steris 3085 table. It's not that hard of a process, but there are some steps you have to take to make sure that it is indeed the symptom. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of a 3085. Okay, right here you can see I have a linear rail. It's just a round rail. It's got a round groove cut in. Now there's a couple of areas where these tables are infamous for coming loose. One of them is up here at the gimbal. You can see that's one of the fasteners right there that needs to be tightened up. The other one is right here on this linear rail. I always check the fastener down here on the casting to make sure you shake the table and then put your finger down there, or get a flashlight and look at them really carefully. You can see we got two fasteners down there, and then there's a couple of them on the riser. So you want to make sure that those are tight, because if those ones come loose, then they will tear at the cast material and that destroys your table. So up here, first thing that I notice is that the linear rail is dry. It's very dry. You can see the underside right here. There are two rails and they ride on this block up here. So those two rails, they should be lubed. You can see we now have a fresh coat of moly lube on there. That way there it's for high tension. So you can rub with a rubber glove down the rail, and if your hand sticks or you feel your glove being pulled, then there's not enough grease on there. So you want to get some moly grease, get in there, make sure that you got a coating on that rail. Next, when that rail's coated, you want to run this table up and down to make sure that you have grease on all your surfaces. See, now I got to make sure that there's a thin layer of grease up here too, because we want to adjust our lash of the linear ways. We want to adjust that lash with the grease, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is clamp down on something and have no grease on your bearing surface. That would be detrimental. So there's a couple of fasteners that you should pay attention to. These ones right here, there's a bolt through here, 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 and here. This is your stationary side. This side over here is your floater. So on this side right here, you have these ones right here. They have to be loosened up. There, all the way down, right? You gotta pull this guy right here off to access that one. Has to be done. And then notice we have these fasteners. This is your lash plate. So on your lash plate, you have these set screws, which actually push in on the rail. So that's one of the reasons why these are floaters, is because we're adjusting horizontally. So there's two adjustments that you have to make sure that you do on these guys. One of them is your parallel. So you got to make sure that they're parallel all the way down. The other one is to make sure that they are tight. So you got to make sure that they're tight, and make sure that this one here is actually parallel to that one. So when we currently shake the table, let's see if I can show it. I don't know if you can see it. This rod right here is wiggling in and out of that groove, and that is actually what's causing the problem. So we got to adjust the lash, make sure it's greased, and check out the rest of the table, which also found a cracked micro switch down here, so that guy's got to get changed out as well. And anytime you see a cracked switch, always check this guy right here. The set screw was in way too far. There was it was depressing on the plastic of the micro switch itself. It should be just enough to activate that switch. I got moly grease all over me. And same thing on that side. Make sure that it's adjusted so that it's just activated on the switch, and a little bit extra. Make sure that set screw isn't smashing the switch. That happens too often. Anyway, guys, I know that's a brief rundown on this table. My hands are covered in grease, so I'm limited on what I can show you, but gives you an idea of what to deal with anytime you have a table that's wobbling too much. Thanks for watching.